For those with good taste.
Welcome back, Tasties and Tastettes, to another episode of FTWGT Weekly. It's your boy Lenny, joined again, as always, with my producer extraordinaire,
Dante.
And the man in the middle chair, D.
3-3 Ray.
Nice. Oh, we don't. Nice. We've got a busy episode for you this week. We got a lot going on, so we won't hold you. We're going to get right into it. But before we do so,
Be sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, share. Am I missing something? Hit that notification bell.
Tell a friend, ask a friend.
Yeah. It's your line. I don't know why you left it to me.
Dante, I'm pissed at you.
Why?
Multitude of reasons now, but it started somewhere.
Is it because I don't know what movie the song Summer Lovin' came from?
No, didn't care much about that.
Okay.
Stupid song.
It's a great song.
Stupid movie. You've never seen it. You've caused me physical pain.
Huh?
Yeah.
I did?
Yes.
When?
Yeah, yesterday.
What did I even do yesterday? What?
So we got snow yesterday, okay? We did.
I'm waiting to hear how that's my fault.
How many inches in reference to Dante's dick would you say we got, Dave?
About 1.5?
I'd say about
2?
Probably.
We got 1.5 Dante's dicks outside.
Four times Dante's dicks.
4 times? That's crazy.
All right, so we got 4 inches of snow outside. And at like 9 a.m., I had to go outside. I had to shovel because I had to work.
I'm still waiting to hear how this
Shut
is my
the fuck
fault.
up and I'll get there. So I'm outside and I'm shoveling and I'm shoveling and I'm shoveling. And I live on a main road, correct?
Yes,
It's
you do.
True. So snow days kind of suck at the bottom of my driveway, correct?
Yeah, I can see that.
What kind of car do I drive?
A big old pickup truck.
Okay, so like hypothetically, if there was snow at the bottom of my driveway, would I have any trouble getting into it?
Probably not.
I'll probably be fine, right? So like if I was shoveling, I wouldn't have to like shovel as much probably if it was just like if I drove a pickup truck to my own house on a day-to-day basis. But what happens to happen is if it snows the day before we record a podcast,
I'm starting to see how you think this is my fault.
I can't think about just myself. And I find myself having to cater to a person's vehicle who does not live at my house, who's here one day a week. And I have to shovel significantly more to get him in and out of my driveway without an issue.
You know what's crazy about you saying that? One of my thoughts pulling in was, damn, this man's driveway is definitely wider than this. I feel like you didn't shovel out quite as wide as you probably should have.
That's criminal, isn't it?
That's absolutely
That's criminal. Because we're also
crazy
like, oh, this driveway's small. My driveway has 3 cars in it, still has space right now. You're telling me my driveway's fucking small, dude?
I'm not saying your driveway is small.
We're challenging
I'm saying
driveway
the
size
area
right now.
of driveway you shoveled is
not
smaller than the driveway itself.
Do not driveway shame people.
It's
That's
a nice
serious
driveway. It's a
around
nice
here.
driveway. It's a nice
Yeah,
driveway.
it's serious right now.
All right, but I'm just saying, there's probably a good another like 2 feet.
So he's saying
that
you
just
didn't do
left.
enough work.
I
covered.
didn't shovel enough for your fucking car to get in the
I had to
driveway.
get real close, is all I'm saying.
Not only that, but like Dave had to move his car so that you could get your special spot in the driveway.
That was like 3 months ago.
No, today he did it.
What are you doing parking in my spot? We had this conversation.
I was the first one here, so I let him take the left spot so that he could get a spot, and then once he pulled up, I backed myself out back onto the road and then behind him. That way you could have your little spot.
Little spot.
Wow.
Let's
Yeah.
stress that. Little spot. Like
Well, no, it is a little spot because Lenny didn't shovel enough.
he has the tiniest spot of all men. Of all men. His spots are at least 4 of the things of snow outside.
I'm just saying.
Isn't
Do a
that
better job.
absurd though? In your car's bullshit, dude.
You
we just
own
like
a home, dude. You don't have a snowblower?
No. Because again, I drive a pickup truck. If I need to get in my driveway, I don't need to shovel if I don't want to.
That's just insane.
But you drive this fucking car that I can't even slide a piece of fucking paper underneath without it hitting the fucking ground.
That's not true. That's an exaggeration.
Okay, I can't stick a ream of paper under your car without it scraping the ground.
That might be an issue, yeah.
I can't stick a half a ream of paper under your car without it touching the ground. That's a fucking problem. Could I ask an additional question though? With the snow being on the ground in our presence, we're in its presence, maybe. I don't know how that works. Did you ever go sledding, Dante?
I mean, yeah, hasn't everybody?
That's what I thought. And then I was talking to some people the other day, and they told me they had never been sledding
Like
before.
never in their life.
Never in their lives, and they tried to claim it was a racial thing.
Oh, hold on. No, I'll pick this one up. So you're saying you were talking to somebody of African American descent?
And
said sledding
another
is a white
person
thing?
of some type of Latin descent.
And they said sledding is a white thing?
Yeah.
Nah, y'all don't get to claim that.
That's what I said. I was like, dude, like, I'm pretty sure like sledding is one of those things anybody can do. Like if you have snow and you have like a
Bro, you don't even
sheet.
need a sled.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could have like a cooking sheet. You can slide down on your ass or your stomach.
I've gone down on many a trash can lids.
You've gone down on a lot of shit.
Whoa, hold on, pause. Nah.
And we'll
Oh
see
my
you
God.
next
The
week.
trash can lid wasn't even the worst thing.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, isn't that crazy? They tried to claim it. I was like, I almost called D. I was like, this
Bro.
can't be real. You're from the South. Did you sled at some point? I feel like you must have.
If he said he didn't, I feel like he has some credence because he's from an area
warm
that doesn't
climate.
naturally get a lot of snow. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But like, if you're from the Northeast, like, you had to have had some sort of sledding
Yeah.
in your childhood.
What
at
do you
some
just
point.
hibernate in the winter? Like what happened?
Bro, it's not like we live in like the plains where there's no hills. Like, there's
Well, that's
tons
it.
of hills
Yeah.
around here.
Yeah, I was just like, and especially even if you're like a city kid,
They
There's hills
sled down
everywhere.
the street.
yeah, even more. Yeah. I also saw a thing the other day that was like, it was, I forget where it was, but they were like, these kids out here are going wild, and they were just like car sledding with just pulling somebody around behind them on a sled. And I
Done
was
that
like,
before too.
I was like, that was normal behavior. It was a weekly behavior for me in the winter when I was a kid. Just go into like a lower populated neighborhood and just go fucking nuts. They don't plow my streets. My streets do not get plowed.
The neighborhoods weren't always an option, but you can usually find like a industrial park or something that like doesn't get plowed till the morning and like kind of peruse their parking lots.
Yeah, no, like side streets in my town do not get worked on. Even like the other day, we didn't get that much snow, right? 4 of your dicks. But it's crazy when you drive it, like when it snows the next day after it snows here, you drive on our streets and they're just like still like a thin layer of snow. And then the second you hit the next town over, it's like clean streets. It's like it didn't even snow at all there. It's like when in the summer when it rains on one end of the road and like you look down the street and it's like
It's
sunny
wild how
and it's
climate
nice.
works.
Yeah.
It really makes me believe the government does have a weather machine.
All right. Well, we're not going to get into California now, Dante. You can't pressure me into that conversation.
I'm just saying they're withholding the rain.
You know who's not withholding stuff from us though?
Who?
Disney.
Oh,
They gave us a trailer this week.
they did.
Thoughts, Dave?
It looks violent and damn good.
What is it?
Is it Reborn again?
Yeah, he's a daredevil. Evil Knievel. Reborn. Yeah,
The devil's work is never done.
So it looks very violent.
It does.
I saw several bones compoundingly fractured. It's the same show though again?
Yeah, but on Disney Plus now and not Netflix.
You know what I mean? Like we've done 3 seasons of kind of this song and dance, and it feels like we're kind of doing the song and dance a little bit again.
I mean, it's not really saying that it's anything different. He's just born again.
Yeah, that's fair. They just do the same 3 seasons. I didn't lie to you. I just got a new suit, but same old me.
Oh shit!
Dante, did you watch all the seasons of Daredevil?
I watched
Daredevils.
the first one. I don't think I watched the second one.
What about the third one?
There's 3.
Yeah.
Oh god,
How about the Defenders?
I don't even know of the existence of that.
What about Punisher 1 and 2?
I'm pretty sure I watched that.
Jessica Jones.
But you didn't
I
watch.
did watch that.
You love Luke Cage.
You would have had to watch. I mean, had to is strong there, but
Yeah, you don't get to
Daredevil season 2 before you watched The Punisher season 1.
So I might have watched season 2 and this season 3 I didn't watch. I know there's something I missed.
So you missed the whole season of TV. That
Iron
would've filled
Fist,
you in.
Luke Cage.
He loves Luke Cage.
Yeah, I watched Luke Cage.
Okay.
He was dressed up as a Miss Halloween a couple of years ago.
I don't quite
Power
pull on a
Man?
shirt the same way, but you know.
Yeah, it was cool though.
You a big Power Man fan?
You mean Power Rangers?
No, Power Man.
Talking about Iron Fist?
No, talking about Power Man.
5,000.
That was the thing. I'm not aware of Power Man.
AKA Luke Cage.
Damn, dog. They ain't calling that in the show. All right, I'm not a comic book nerd.
Okay, Dante, rank these comic book heroes: Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist.
What the fuck?
Rank them, please.
Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones.
Because she's a woman?
Oh my god. Yo.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, what was that about, dude?
No, I'm all about the women.
She had to get drunk and a little flirtatious to beat people up.
Oh, you trying to pick her up? No, she was my number 1. I went in reverse order.
So Daredevil's your number 4?
Yeah.
It's out of pocket.
What do you got against blind people, man?
They can't see.
Well,
Okay.
I guess that's true. Not much to argue there. Yeah, getting back to the point, I suppose it just everything looks super crisp. I'm really happy to be back. Like I like the Daredevil universe they created. It's very depressing and, like, to your point, violent. So like I'm happy.
I
with
like
that.
it. It's very depressing.
It is. It's like a very sad like place that they live in. This
sounds like you're getting into
world.
an emo era.
Hell's Kitchen.
I like that we got all of the original casting back and all of that stuff. So
Yeah,
it does, but like, and maybe that's why it feels a little just too much of the same in a way. Is it him getting his leg broken?
I don't think so. No.
Also, when he smashes the person's face down in the glass, do you think that ends up being who is that Taskmaster or something like that?
No. I don't know who, like, the
The white
Bad
mask
guy
is.
person.
But do you think the person who gets their face smashed down is the person who's now wearing a mask? Could be, right, guys?
could be.
Any other thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it. It looks fun.
Well,
but-
we're gonna watch it, dude. That's not like a.
Whoa. Who are you to tell me what to do?
No, that's true. You might not have watched No Country for Old Men. So
What are you talking about?
We got to see where it's going to tie into Agatha all along, you know?
yeah. I like to think that this movie's gonna end with like the show's gonna end with a snap.
Oh,
We're just gonna go back there.
No,
That's how we retcon everything.
Uh,
Daredevil just maybe he comes out of the snap, and that's how we got him back.
uh,
That's where he's been all this time. They were telling stories during the blip.
Damn.
Next up, so Fast 10.5, right, is the new one. Is that technically?
Is that what
it would
they're
be?
calling it?
I think, or Furious 10.5. You're probably right.
Final Reckoning.
They're calling it 10.5
Yeah.
though?
I think so. They have to. Yeah. Apparently, that was supposed to go into production this year to be made, and it hasn't started yet. And I read a rumor. I think this was on Cinema Blend. That said that the rumor has it that they can't get financial backing that they need.
I'm not
And that's what's holding back.
surprised.
It's because Vin Diesel wants like an insane budget and nobody will give him the money.
I'm not surprised.
What could be like, what's an insane budget now? Because I would have thought 200 million for the Joker was an insane budget.
Yeah,
What's
I
like
feel
an
like
insane
they're probably
budget?
asking like 450.
What did we just use for Tom Cruise?
500, right?
Yeah, like 450 ain't that big. They wouldn't make it back. Like they would lose money, but like
Yeah.
450 to me isn't. Also, can we point out that's probably not a good sign for the franchise if we're trying to get a crazy budget.
Yeah.
Because like to me that says
We're
we're
just
not
banking
doing
on a bunch of crazy stunts.
Yeah,
It's
we're
gonna
not
a
going to
shit
be
story.
doing real stunts. We're going to be doing a ton of CGI.
Well, I thought that
stunts.
would have been what draws up the budget, though, is when they
No,
do all these practical effects. Isn't that more expensive?
No, I mean, supplies are, but paying people the money you have to pay designers of that quality to like do that many hours of work is what's going to cost a ton of money. Like trying to make that CGI look good.
I see.
Yeah, it's a lot of sitting in front of a computer like that costs the money.
With motherfuckers who are charging something outrageous per hour or whatever it is, you know, or have paid a hefty salary up front to take that job on, you know, to do it at that level. To me, that's what I would be concerned with Fast, because I was worried. And you know what's even crazier now that I think of it? Wasn't there like a thing where he was talking about bringing it back more to racing, I feel like, with this one or something?
I would love that. I mean,
I don't think they said bringing it back more to racing, but I think they said making it more about the cars again.
yeah, my 3 favorite movies in the entire franchise are the first 3. So
Teach their own,
Bro,
you know.
I mean, include the 4th, but yeah.
I mean, I think the 4th was probably the worst movie in the entire franchise.
Nine is 9. I'm not actually saying the German word for no. Nine.
Settle
I was
down,
very
Elon.
aggressively not in agreement with that.
No, 9 is the worst one.
The Charlize.
No, she is in 9, but she comes in 8 is the first one she shows up in. She's in 8, 9, and 10 though.
Okay, she shows up in
John Cena is 9. He's like the villain for the most part during 9. They do like the wrecking ball thing down the streets of Europe somewhere or some shit. I don't know. Although they did that in no, it was that's in 10. It's not a rolling ball in 9, is it? But they have that
the nuclear bomb thing.
But they
yeah.
And he like butt taps it into the river.
No, that's 10.
That is
That is 10. Yeah, that's 10.
That's 10. But there's another scene. I think it ends. It's actually like a tank. A tank is an 8. This is impossible to keep up with, dude. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know
man.
9. I know what I don't like about parts of 9 is just the most like absurd. I think 10 is absurd, but
is 9 the one when they went to space?
No, that's 10.
That's 10. No,
that's 9.
Guys,
10 they didn't go to space.
10 they went.
No, 10 was.
Yeah, they do go to space in 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is impossible.
That's when they.
Yeah, that's where it jumped the shark a little bit.
Yeah.
And you had old ass Bow Wow and what's the other? Lucas Black, is that the kid's name? Who
from Tokyo Drift?
Tokyo Drift, and also from the movie with the dude who plays Vision, Paul Bettany, Legion. Remember that movie?
Yeah,
never watched it.
You don't remember Legion?
In the diner?
So you remember the trailer? It was in the diner. It's the old lady eating the super
the
raw
rotten
steak. And there's flies all over it and stuff. And then she calls the girl like a whore and then crawls all over the ceiling and turns into like a
sounds
creature.
Familiar, but
the
I still don't think
I just
I've
remember
seen
the
it.
trailer was like the trailer is like this little sweet old lady sitting at a table like cutting up steak, and then she starts like freaking out on the people in the restaurant with them. Dennis Quaid,
Yep.
Tyrese is in it. Paul Bettany, girl from Friday Night Lights. Also, is it Adriana Partridge, like or whatever? It's a girl from G.I. Joe, right?
Oh, the one from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes,
and
but you know
John
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So she's in it as well. It's a good cast. Definitely a very good cast. Willa Holland of Arrow. She plays Oliver's sister.
I whip my hair back and forth.
Wrong one.
I don't know how we got there.
I actually don't.
Lucas Black.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy had a weird career.
I don't know him in anything other than Tokyo Drift.
It just seems like Tokyo Drift. There was like a
CSI or something like that.
He was in the Friday Night Lights movie, I think.
He did like a crime show.
Yeah, he was. He was on. It feels like you're probably right. It's one of the CSIs. He looks a little busted in Fast 9, though.
Yeah, aged.
Yeah, not good. Not a good aging. Okay, next up.
All that drifting,
that'll do it to
age your skin.
I think it would smooth you, right?
Damn,
no, maybe it'll set.
Educate me.
Sag.
Huh?
Would driving with the windows open smooth your skin?
All those G forces.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Take you down.
No, dry you the fuck out.
No, but like it's smoothing your wrinkles.
I mean, dry you out. Yeah, that could.
It would. Yeah, so you'd have to use lotion, but like your skin would be smooth, right?
Sure.
Like especially if you keep spinning like that.
I just wanted to know what else Lucas Black was in, and I can't for the life of me remember him being an unsung hero, but apparently he was.
Was he an exexitive? Was he like the record executive?
Wasn't that like your movie of the year?
Not movie of the year.
Funny you should say that, Dave. It was. It was his movie of the year. That's true.
You know what, man?
Was he in Friday Night Lights? The
I
movie?
didn't go that far.
There was definitely a time, you can tell when Hollywood tries to like latch itself on to like, not latch itself on, but like tries to boost people up. And he definitely had this moment around like Fast and Tokyo Drift, right? Where like he was in 4 or 5 movies, I feel like, and he wasn't good in any of them.
Right.
Like even if you think back to Legion, he is by far the least competent actor in that movie, Legion.
He was in Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. I think he played like the quarterback character or something, maybe.
So I think for the most part, like before these movies come out, like you get a little bump in popularity, like, oh, you're going to be in this next movie, like let's get you in our movie.
Yeah, let's jump on, like latch on.
And then they all come out and it's just like, oh, you know what, maybe not.
Well, I'll never forget, there was this movie called like The Case 39. Do you know that movie?
No. I know Rule 13.
Is that a Jim Carrey movie?
Wait, not
The
Rule
13.
No,
33?
No, I'm thinking of like the terrible movie where that's like 12 different skits, but it was all just people.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Fulfilling their
44?
contracts. No.
Something like that.
It was all a bunch of people who were doing
I know
a movie
the
they didn't want to do.
I know
because
exactly
they
which
were
one you're talking.
Chloe Grace Moretz, I know, was in it.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. The one I was talking about is like, I think it's called like Case 39. It's a Bradley Cooper movie with Renee Zellweger, I think, is both in there.
Okay.
And yeah, I remember it had been filmed like 3 years prior, and it was just randomly coming out to theaters. And it was because it came out like shortly, I think, to your point, it was like The Hangover and stuff happened. And like Bradley Cooper, when they filmed the movie, didn't have any popularity. But all of a sudden, a couple movies came out that popped off for him. And they decided this movie that had been kind of shelved, like maybe we can sneak this into theaters in like February or something, and we'll get a couple people to watch it.
Huh.
I wish I could remember. I swear it was Studio like 44 or something is the one you're talking about. Like but I know exactly which. It was bad. It got like destroyed, like panned.
Well, yeah, because nobody wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there were some funny scenes, but yeah, it was like, it's panned as like probably one of the like worst movies ever made. Yeah.
Is there any actors right now that you think are in this situation where they're like, would you say, Dave, this will be a one for you that you'd love to answer? Do you think like Glenn Powell is the iteration of this?
Yeah, but like every movie that's come out has been successful.
So do you think a year ago
he's in a good
person,
cycle,
but he's successful? Because there's 2 ways this can go for somebody, right? The Lucas Black thing that we're talking about, where like it can veer left, and
like you put a bunch of stuff and it all flops. Kind of thing.
You end up he didn't really like he's still acting 20 years later. Movie 43, okay. He's still acting 20 years later, so like it helped him get to a point, and now he's a TV actor or whatever it is, and like he's gonna pop up in something like Fast because he fits the story or the narrative for a quick moment, you know. But like, so he's a working actor, but it didn't blow him up to that stratosphere. Or you could be the Glenn Powell guy, like route where it's and then take off. I would say like Ryan Reynolds, I feel like was kind of in that boat in like the mid 2000s to a point. You remember like the Blade Trinity days, like he was kind of not floundering, but like he was at this tier where like funny guy you can put into a movie. He could do rom-coms. I feel like McConaughey went through this too, where he was attached to all those.
McConaughey went through a lot of that, yeah.
Yeah, where he was attached to a ton of just like rom-com stuff. And they were like, you're the rom-com guy. Like, we can make movies that are $10 million and get a good profit off of you. But we can't envision you winning an Academy Award or being an action star. And it's up to them to pick the roles that get them to that spot.
Where are we at?
Next up, Fast 10. Not Fast 10. We were doing Fast 10. Different 10. Mission Impossible 10.5. Okay. I have just a little screen cap here for you.
What's the release date, by the way, for that?
Dante, what's the release date for that, by the way?
It's to be determined.
I feel like it's May.
It's gonna be May.
So Christopher McQuarrie, which I believe is the director of the movie, said an audience member almost had a heart attack during an action sequence during the test screening for the new movie. New movie. He said, I thought to myself, I guess we did something right.
He thought the movie caused a heart attack? Like, no, maybe that person was just having a medical emergency.
I'm thinking, like, how long afterwards? Because it's sociopathic behavior to be like, I think we got a hit on our hands, boys. Like fuck the guy who's in a hospital, like in the hospital right now, heart palpitations, fucking bleeding out or some shit. I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
isn't that like a? And I don't read full articles. There's probably context within the full article that's like makes it not sound as bad.
The man was eating a triple like bacon
Yeah.
cheeseburger.
What's that thing in? Is it like called the Heart Attack Restaurant or something like that in Vegas? Right?
Yeah.
With the burger.
You have to be like over like 500 pounds and you can eat for free or something.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. So Beard, one of the like professional leader people I follow, right? He did the food challenge there, and it's like a heart attack burger. It's like, like 20 fucking patties stacked up, a ton of cheese on them, and then they have like a syringe, because all the waitresses are in like hospital gear, because it's like a heart attack thing, right? Like there's even a scale in the middle of the restaurant, but they have like syringes that are filled with like cheese or some shit. I don't know, that you have to eat with the burgers.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. What's the most amount of burger patties you think you could eat?
Me? I don't know. A triple's a stretch already.
Yeah.
Triple fills me up, right?
You can take 3.
3 at one time?
Yeah.
All right.
Some guys are into 5. I'm into
You know
3.
those guys?
I'm into 3. I've seen a few people go into those.
You've seen it.
Seen the people go into 5 guys. Yeah. I've seen it happen. I've never even seen a person. Have you seen a person? Have you guys seen any people in real life do food challenges?
No.
No.
No, I don't think I have either. I feel like I've been at like a fair when they've done like a pie eating competition.
We should do a
or
food
something.
challenge.
Like in here.
Yeah.
Are you talking about quantity, or do you want to do like a hot chip?
I was thinking like a spice challenge.
But you would win.
Would I?
Yeah,
Nah.
Well, I don't know if he would win, but you would lose.
that's a fair point. I think we can. If there's a definitive takeaway from this,
No, see,
That's
you
fair.
know what the crazy thing is? We know his threshold for spicy isn't that high, right? But his competitive
yeah,
energy
my fuck
is very
you-ness.
high.
I will
So
do it.
he will literally suffer through it just to be neck and neck with us.
I'll do it. Yeah, if you guys like really we want to do that, like I don't want to. Like anytime I see someone do like the hot chip, for instance, like that looks like a miserable experience. And I feel like I would
Looks
need
like you
24
make some
hours
probably
to.
some fun faces though.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think like I would think I would need my body would need 24 hours to like recover from that, and I don't want to eat away a whole day.
recover.
Of my
I
life.
thought you meant like prepare.
No, like recover. Like I think my insides would be a mess.
So I guess that's a question I have regarding the hot chip. Obviously, like, or other things like that. Like I've eaten a lot of spicy foods, but there's a lot of, I guess, bad reactions to like the hot chip, like internally.
Yeah.
Not just like the spice in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be out of pocket to do a challenge like that? Chew the whole thing, but then spit it out. You still suffer the spice of the challenge,
I don't know.
but you're not fucking with your stomach and your intestines. I guess what I'm asking is, Dante, spit or swallow?
That's actually a good question.
Dog. Don't be a quitter. Swallow that shit.
I was gonna say my opinion would be like it doesn't feel like in good spirit of competition. Like I don't think you could say you completed it if you didn't do it to completion.
I mean, dude, spitters are quitters.
It would be embarrassing to be on camera spitting.
True.
That's
That's true.
Yeah.
When you started bringing up that concern, though, I thought maybe we just modify the challenge. Instead of doing the hot chip, we do hot ones.
I've done that.
We can get the whole assortment of like hot sauces they have,
You
right?
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd body that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right, Dave?
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
So I did that challenge like 5 or 6 years ago. The back end, like the last like 2 sauces, not that bad.
It's really just
There was-
the bomb.
The bomb was
really
bad,
one.
and at the time there was another one like right before the bomb. I think it was like called Stargazer or something. That one kicked my ass, but the last dab, that was honestly
Well,
kind of
because I think the whole idea with that is you've already like broken through the threshold of like it can't get any worse than this, right? When you've done the bomb, like the bomb.
I mean that the whole thing is built on like increasingly higher like Scoville levels, so it's like supposed to be.
Now, how do you do like how did it work out? Like, were you just like steamrolling like one after another, or was it like, okay, we're all gonna eat one, we're gonna sit here for 5 minutes, then we're gonna eat another one?
I wouldn't say steamrolling, but like probably one every 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah.
I feel like it's easier that way though. Like if you don't let it set and like fester.
Well, that's where I was
thing,
saying, like,
you know what I
yeah, if you just went down the line like bang, 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 like you
Yeah.
can just do it before it catches up to you.
before
Or
you realize the pain you're in.
you're probably halfway through and you're just in immense pain. But like, or like, yeah, or do you sit there for an hour of like, you know, like just building and building and building, and what's worse? How did you feel like shit afterwards, or no?
No, I don't think so.
I think because I'm so not acclimated to spice, like it would hurt me for a while.
You'd be one of those people to like shit fire after.
Mostly my asshole would hurt.
Yeah.
After. Yeah. Like I said, my stomach would be in shambles. Like I would be in my bed, in my room with my lights off, like just laying in my bed, probably in like a cold sweat, waiting for the next time I had to shit fire.
Dude, that's
Take a week
you
off.
painted
from
a
work.
very vivid picture.
I
I
just-
feel
I'm-
bad for you.
I'm pretty confident as to how this will go.
I
I'll
feel
do
bad
it.
for you because we're gonna make it happen.
I'll do it. But like,
Like, boss, I need to go on LOA.
yeah,
I ate some spicy food.
yeah. I need at least 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm not the same.
Dog.
I can't sit.
Taking a 2-week medical leave because you ate spicy chicken.
I just can't sit down.
I gotta sleep on my stomach.
Yeah, they got me a donut.
Oh my
Uh,
god, it's
yeah.
diabolical.
Okay, only other thing left for news. This isn't really news. This is another like stupid little topic that I found. So Cinemark, which I believe is a movie theater company. I'm not
I
familiar
think so,
with their
yeah,
theaters
yeah.
necessarily, but it's a theater company. They're hosting a bring your own popcorn bucket today, like to the theater thing, and you can fill whatever container you want with popcorn for $5.
So like I could go to Lowe's and buy like a whole tote bin.
So like
and
the
show up
only
with
the
that.
picture that I see there is somebody brought like a
like fucking nightstand.
like a nightstand and filled the drawers with popcorn. And then like there's like an Aladdin like genie little thing.
That's an urn.
That's probably a good point. The genies come out of those, no? All right, that's an urn. Dude, that was his grandparents. He emptied it out before he went.
Dog. Rinse out the ashes so you can fill it with popcorn.
Sorry,
suck it
Pops.
up in the vacuum cleaner, hold it there, go fill that thing up with popcorn, eat for a little bit, come back, empty the.
Is this a brand new vacuum cleaner
Yeah.
or are they now mixed up with dust?
It's like dog hair.
Yeah.
It just falls into it. Do you guys have any like what would be the right container for you?
See, because I feel like I'd be torn between trying to get the most for my money and
Trash
showing up
bag.
with a cool container to eat out of.
You say trash bag. I actually, in my head, my perfect thing was like little kid Halloween pillowcase. Like I just bring a pillowcase to the movies, and I'm like, I need you to
don't know if
fill
I'd
this
want
thing.
anything like that because then I like to butter my popcorn. It would just soak through.
Have you ever seen when they're making honey?
Nah.
So like when you make honey, it's it's like nylon stockings, and you pour like the honey into the stocking, and it sifts out the like
Honeycomb.
solid stuff, out of it.
Oh,
Basically,
the honeycomb stays in the stocking.
exactly.
And
And the honey like drips down
Okay.
into the container, and I just imagine like that's what it looks like as I'm like carrying around a bag of popcorn. It's just like it's just butter like
that
falling out of the bottom of the bag.
disgusting.
Yeah, gross.
Just seeping out the bottom of the bag. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think that would be a funny one. Like I'm walking in like Santa Claus into the movie theater with like a bag full of popcorn over my shoulder, just ready to go.
And I'm just sitting next to you eating it out of an obnoxiously large boot.
It's a brilliant strategy because the reality is like we didn't need to change the popcorn container. Like that technology is pretty solid, right? Like
This was 2 days ago.
yeah. Is there any fun pictures that you can find on there? But you know what I mean? Like we already kind of perfected the apparatus to eat popcorn from in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a good gimmick because now like even if they sell like a boatload of popcorn for $5, they're making money on each one of those.
Lowe's buckets.
Lowe's,
5-gallon
Lowe's
buckets.
buckets.
Like that's funny.
Yeah.
Like that kid walking around the theater with just 2 big Lowe's buckets full of popcorn is funny. That's objectively like the image of that would be funny. in the theater.
So you said $5 per container, so they paid $10
$10 for all that popcorn.
Oh.
But you walk into the theater and you see the dude with the nightstand. You see a guy with 2 Lowe's buckets next to him. You see another one that like
people are gonna get ridiculous. With
somebody
that.
emptied their junk drawer out at home and brought that with them.
Do popcorn kernels or do corn kernels expire?
Huh?
What does that mean?
That means like
I get,
do they go
like,
bad? Like
yeah, but
is
so like
it-
will
is-
they not pop? Is that what you're asking?
Is this just a way of they had
Too
a
much
whole
popcorn.
bunch of
Too
popcorn
much.
kernels
They
that
had
were
too many kernels? That's a
that
good
were
point.
gonna go bad and they needed to throw away?
Yeah.
So this was their little stunt.
That's a really good question. Is popcorn kernels like is that natural like nuclear disaster proof?
Well, no, 'cause
like
it
if the
blows up
world
in a
died
microwave.
off, could
All I
popcorn-
can think of is that terrible line by Juno and Venom 3 about cockroaches.
what was the line again? I know what you're talking
She's
about.
like, "Hey, did you know that cockroaches are blah 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 blah?"
Oh, yeah, just
Did
like
not fit.
expose for plot.
Yeah.
Hey, this will matter later. Yeah, like what if popcorns could just survive through anything? Like they don't. Like imagine if we had some type of apocalypse and like 6 years later we're
just-
working our way through like a Stop and Shop and we find a thing of Orville Redenbacher and we're like hallelujah.
Popcorn kernels non-perishable, so they can
Okay,
essentially
so,
last
you know,
for.
It
So
was a thought.
are the kernels non-perishable? But what about the like when I get the microwave stuff and it has all the like fake butter surrounding it in the package? Does that go bad?
So what I read was they're non-perishable, but in order for them to last for quote unquote ever, they'd have to be in a cool, dry, airtight space. So I assume like oxidation and moisture will
Affects
affect
their
its
popping.
ability to pop. Yeah.
Is there? Well, does popcorn have nutritional value?
I don't think so.
Because I was going to ask if like the kernels have nutritional, like like if the kernels went bad, they wouldn't pop. Could I still eat the kernels and get anything out of that?
Why would
Any
you just eat the kernels?
Any sustenance? If I needed food,
Oh no, I don't think that would break down.
okay. So if I needed food, I couldn't just snack on the kernels like they were nuts.
No, you
That's not
break your teeth.
visible. Yeah.
Just swallow them, dude. You guys know how that works.
Spitters or quitters.
The one other thing on the popcorn container, they asked Timothy Chalamet if he had seen the Dune 2 popcorn containers.
The Dunacy.
Yeah, and he said, yeah, I keep one under my bed. That's a funny answer. That dude's on a PR fucking like clinic right
Kid's on
now
a
because
roll.
that's a very funny thing to say back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I fuck that thing. That's what he just said to everyone. Yes, I fuck that thing.
Yeah.
When Kendall's not available or Kylie, which one's he with?
I don't fucking know.
Which Jenner is
Probably
he with,
Kendall.
Dante, I think we should all have like sectors of pop culture that we need to follow. And I'd like to assign you with the Kardashians.
What the fuck? You don't even do any research. Why do I have to?
I just read fucking three
You
three
read
screenshots.
headlines. You do
three
not do
screenshots of
research.
headlines that I fucking did. Yeah, I also perused TikTok earlier for info on the taste test.
You know what?
It would it be too much to ask for you to go on Instagram Reels and watch some gossip stuff about the Kardashians for us on a weekly basis? I don't think that's too crazy.
You know what? TikTok's back. I can research that way.
Yeah. So you're our Kardashian guy
Yeah.
now. I think this could be a hit. I'd like you to come back weekly basis with Kardashian news for us. What's Skims doing this week? I'd really like to know. Maybe we can get a sponsorship, dude.
Kim Kardashian's in her 7th year of law school.
Yeah. You could tell us about what like prisoner she's trying to get out next.
Right.
Dude, imagine if we became plus size Skims models, Dante. Plus size guys skim models, dude.
I don't actually know what Skims is, so I'm scared right now.
Oh, it's just like the super, like it's Kim Kardashian's clothing line that does mostly undergarments, but also does like yoga pants or something.
Is that the bras with like the hard nipples?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does bras with hard nipples. She does George Clooney bras.
Fake nipple bras? That's crazy.
Well, because because I think that they see nipples now as an accessory. I think women see nipples as accessories. What?
The fashion industry confuses me. And I just feel like your take is so wrong, dude.
The what out of you was just great.
Oh, no, think about it, dude. Think about how many girls you
Who
see
said
wearing
that?
fucking tank tops now that aren't wearing bras, dude. Nipples are accessories.
Sure, I'm
Think
for
about
it.
when you see a girl wearing a thin shirt with no bra with nipple piercings.
That's fucking
Accessory.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
they,
the piercings are the accessory.
no, their nipples are the accessories. They just added accessories to their accessories.
You can't accessorize your accessories.
No, I think you could accessorize your accessories when you have accessories to accessorize. Do you have it?
Oh God. Do you have it?
I think we have it, but we still haven't answered the question on whether or not you
I
have
got it
it.
in spades. Come on.
You have it?
Taste.
Dead ass. You know what I just realized, Dave?
What's that?
Taste.
Taste.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Taste. The reason Dante showed up at 3:45, I know why. He was watching the movie.
Huh?
He was watching the movie.
Yeah.
That's 100% why he was so late.
Yeah.
He mistimed the amount of time it would be required to watch the movie. And he was dead ass driving here, watching the movie, and was telling us what time it would be done by.
Yeah.
I'm right. Yeah, I just sniped that one out. That makes so much sense now, dude. Like, I don't know why that took me so long to piece that together. That fucking adds up, and I know you too well, dude. There's no country for your old ass anymore, I'll tell you that much, dude.
What's that supposed to mean? Sounds racist.
Yeah, your day is come and gone, my friend.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
Okay, so yeah, No Country for Old Men. Here's my first starting topic. For the longest time, I swear to God, there was a theirs in front of this title.
Yeah, I thought so too.
No,
I swear on my life,
there will
I
be
think
blood.
that's just the saying, but the movie title is No Country for
There
Old
will
Men.
be blood. No country for old men.
but it feels like there's no country for old men. Like there is no country for old men.
No, there is.
It's the retirement homes. It's the VA. All right. Do we have any early thoughts on this movie? So let's start here. This is an experiment that we're working through, right?
Yeah.
With like movies that we're going to choose and stuff like that. Were any of you struggling with excitement to watch this?
So much so that I didn't watch it until like 2 hours ago.
I mean, I took the better part of a week having the time to do it and then just continuously not doing it.
I think two things can be true. I didn't watch it till yesterday, but for two reasons. I think first and foremost, I didn't want to watch it like last week and then come in here and try to talk about it. So I wanted to put it off anyways till it was a little closer to when I was going to have to talk about it. So that was part of it. But then I think the other part of it was like, I've gone this long without watching it because I didn't really like have this like need or care to want to see it. So I was just kind of like, I'll get around to it. I'm not like super stoked about this. If I like it, like it'll be cool, whatever, you know? Do you think that's weird though? Because like this movie's fucking critically acclaimed. It's not weird for me because like I would just go counter
I mean,
on that anyways.
critically acclaimed is never something that's going to like sway me to be like, oh my God, I got to go see this. It's just nothing about it particularly excited me. Especially like, I don't know, like older movies never really excite me that much either.
No, do you mean older? Like it came out in 2007. Do you mean older and when it came out or older aesthetic? Because like it's obviously
Older
like
aesthetic.
It feels
Yeah.
like a throwback
Set
movie.
in 1980.
Yeah, and just like and they did a good job of filming it in a way that felt of that time more than it felt like some of the choices. I feel like obviously like anything filmed in more of a sepia tone, like a warm tone, I feel like automatically feels.
And that's
like
why I
it's-
associate it with Western.
Yeah, I think that automatically makes it feel old.
I guess I wasn't like fully excited to see this movie just because like I'd gone this long with not even knowing a single plot point and what it was about. So it was something that I didn't care about when it came out, and I never decided to learn what it was about. And then I went another 14 years, just or however long it's been.
It was interesting. Me and you talked like briefly about it the other day after you had seen it and you were asking me if I had watched it, and you were kind of like, yeah, I literally knew nothing about it. And it made me think to myself, I was like, I know like a little bit. Like I know who's in it. I know about the weapon that they use. Like I know some stuff like that. But like I didn't know plot points. I really didn't have any clue. I was like, should I watch the trailer? Like I was like, I wonder like what it would be like from an experience standpoint to like if I watch the trailer right now and then watch it, or will I prefer the movie better if I don't watch the trailer at all and just go in completely blind to what the movie is?
So what'd you do?
I didn't watch the trailer because like I didn't want like I'm torn because I think it'd be cool, right? But at the same time, like I didn't want to give away like a plot point,
or
if I didn't
like
have to.
you could watch the trailer and be like, God, I really don't want to watch this.
Yeah. Did it? So Dante, because I assume you knew the least, like at least like Dave didn't know anything about the movie, but you knew the movie. Dante probably didn't even know the thing existed.
No, I legitimately went into it thinking I was watching a Western.
I knew Javier Bardem, and I knew the coin flip scene at the gas station.
Yeah.
I'd seen a clip of that.
I also had this like remembrance, I feel like through TikTok, of like the scene where he robs the pharmacy. Like I feel like I remember that from like
I've seen the
TikTok
little
thing.
hobble into
It has kind of like a Dark Knight vibe to it.
Yeah.
In a way.
None of this had like a visual of like familiarity to me. Like
Yeah.
I had not seen or been aware of any of it.
So starting with like the getting into the movie then, since we were all kind of coming from the same perspective of like not knowing what we were getting into, having like a minimal knowledge of the movie. It starts with like a credit screen and dialogue. Like, were you guys immediately like in it? You were watching on your phone, so I don't know if I can really ask you that.
No, I started on my TV. I finished it on my phone.
But yeah, for you guys, was it like, were you immediately drawn in, or?
I don't even remember that part.
So like,
I don't think I was paying full attention.
I felt like it was going to be a hard watch for me with the way it started, because it started out very like dry. There was some dialogue, but there wasn't much. It was mostly just like scenes and like motion, and like it's that whole sense of like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what am I getting into?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I noticed throughout this movie is there is no music or score.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
So that kind of threw me off too.
So from like going and like doing some research on this, like I said, like scrolling through TikTok and like watching some different stuff on it and things like that, that seems to be like most people's biggest like positive takeaway is from an ambiance standpoint, is because there's no music or anything to tell you like emotional responses to stuff. It keeps you more in the moment. And you were talking about the gas station scene. Like that's like the perfect depiction, because like you hear him like chewing on the nuts that he's eating, and like you get all these like,
you feel the tension without the score having to tell you that it should be a tense
because you're
moment.
hearing all these little body movements, and like you're able to micro focus on like the tension that they're building between the two of them, rather than having this thing outside of it that's telling you about tension because of like a low build in the music or something like that. Yeah, it seems to be like that is that's one of the two, in my eyes, like biggest positives that I've seen from takeaways. And I don't know if I noticed it so much when I was watching it, the lack of music, as much as I appreciated it after I started realizing it.
I noticed it probably about like 20-30 minutes in. So I can't remember if like the opening like title scene didn't have music either, right?
No, I think it was not in the movie.
I did not pick up on the fact that there was no music until I read that there was no music after I had watched the movie.
Yeah, and then did you rewatch any of the scenes again after that? Or
No.
Because like since I was on TikTok, of course, like you scroll to the next thing and it's just showing you a scene from the movie. And so like then I'm rewatching the gas station scene or one of those, and I'm like, oh,
well, so
like,
yeah, it was probably around then that I had noticed it was like, oh, this is like a scene of like extreme tension. And I'm over here like thinking like, oh, there should be like some like build up music or something to like tell me this is a tense moment. And then just noticing how well like all the different like ambient sounds and stuff give you those cues without needing music.
I think that the thing that makes this movie so successful, I think obviously I'm not a big director guy personally. Like I don't know, like I could tell you actors and then list off a million things they've done. Directors, not so much my thing. The Coen brothers though, obviously are directors that people go out of their way to work with. It's a thing that audiences go out of their way to see their movies. So like this had a very like strong directors at the helm, and then the actors just came and like blew it away. You know, I think that was the biggest driving force for me watching this movie, is that The takeaway I had was dude, like I think this movie's like I'm pretty into it the whole way through. Like there's some really cool action, but like it's not like an action movie, but like there's some tense scenes with action involved, I guess, you know. And I felt like I could clearly understand the motives of like your three leads for the most part, but I had a lot of difficulty. I don't know if you guys felt this way with just the dialogue. Like I think it's a movie I would need to watch 2 or 3 times to totally understand the stuff they're saying to each other.
I don't think the dialogue really threw me off that much, but I feel like a second watch would help me understand some of the context that I wasn't quite getting.
I think it would just slow down a bit for me, you know?
Like if I know where it's going, then watching it from the beginning, I'll understand a lot more of the context and what they're saying. Because like, I didn't have an issue with the dialogue. It was more so just like, all right, what's that in relation to? Who are we talking about? I don't know all the characters yet. We're still building it. It's just like,
yeah, like I think I struggled the most with the Tommy Lee character, and like we're not going in order of the movie or anything. So like the ending, for instance, like I don't know who that guy was. I think my stupid brain doesn't understand what I was supposed to take away from the ending.
So
like
I feel you on that. I feel you on that, and like that kind of threw me too because I was like, who is this guy? What are we talking about? Oh shit, rolling credits.
Yeah, and then it's just over. Yeah, it's just like. Okay, like all of our characters are gone. Like now he's giving this like speech, which I saw a thing where he did that whole last monologue in one take.
Oh shit!
And I guess it like it's pretty consistent with the way the book ends too, like dialogue.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of zoned out and like grabbed my phone in the middle of that speech, and then the sound stopped, and I looked up, and it was credits, and I was just like, oh, okay, and I just went on.
I've rewatched it a couple times, and I still don't truthfully understand what this is the stuff where I'm saying for a rewatch, because it just felt like sometimes when they were talking that it was almost like talking in circles because they were saying stuff and the acting was phenomenal, but I don't understand what you're talking about. And maybe it is that thing of watching at home versus watching in the theater where I did have those moments where my concentration maybe broke or something. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what's going on here? You know? But like going back to my initial point, I really appreciated, and I don't know how you guys felt like that clear defined thing of knowing what the characters' motives were without necessarily understanding all the dialogue.
Yeah.
So like you had basically this apex predator, like this shark. I envisioned it like Javier Bardem to me is like it's Michael Myers without like the mask, basically. You know,
it's also it was comical to me how they can make his character, I guess, intimidating with that goofy ass haircut.
Do you know anything about the haircut? Where that came from?
Nah.
So he grew his hair out for 6 months prior to filming the movie to come in with the idea. Well, so I can give you a couple interesting things I read about Javier Bardem with this movie. So first of all, the hair thing. He grows his hair out. He comes in. He's like, hey, like I grew it out so you can just have it look however you guys want it to look. The Coen brothers have pictures of these guys in a brothel in like the 1980s. And they find one with that haircut. And they're like, perfect.
That's our guy.
Like, that's the guy. And they show it to Javier Bardem. He goes and gets his haircut like that. And his response is just like, they're like, what do you think? He's like, I think I'm not going to get laid for the next like 6 months that I do this movie. And they were like, great. Like, that's exactly what we want. We want like something like so unsettling that like nobody would look at you that way, you know? Secondly, on the Javier Bardem front, so he gets cast in this movie by the Coen brothers, and he basically at this time, his English isn't that great. And he goes to the Coen brothers and he's like, I'm going to do the movie, but I think I'm the wrong choice. It's like, I think I'm a terrible choice for this movie. He's like, I don't speak good enough English. I am like a super peaceful person. So I don't really like, I'm not super into the violence that you're asking me to do. There was like one other thing that he had like as a caveat, and they were just like, but that's why we want you for all of these reasons. And like, you think you're not the guy, and like, that's going to make you the guy. And so there's a study that gets done after this movie comes out and is made and everything, where psychologists watched 400 different movies and they looked through 126 cases of sociopaths that were depicted in movies. And they said that this is the most clinically accurate a sociopath has ever been played in a movie.
Holy shit.
Is his portrayal. And they said it's
because he doesn't think he can be that.
Yeah, I mean that's probably like what helped
because that's literally
portrayal.
what a sociopath
And he is
right?
a peaceful, docile guy. Yeah, in real life, like those mannerisms and those natural things that he has, allow those other parts to come through and seem so like terrifying to a point. They said that funny enough, who was it? Hannibal Lecter and who's the dude from Psycho? I can't remember who they play on Psycho. Bateman, yeah. They basically said that those two are the least accurate serial killers or sociopaths that have been depicted in movies. They're the most unrealistic, which I thought was just a fun little throwaway in there.
Interesting.
Yeah, and like so the as far as the psychology part, the scene that they really point, there's a couple things that I think stood out to me, like the gas station scenes. The gas station scene being the first one, right? Yep. And I'm assuming you guys, like, I feel like I had to play catch up on some of the stuff with the stuff I watched afterwards, but like understanding that whole gas station scene and what the premise was there for why he needs to kill him or decides whether or not he's going to kill him. Did you understand that?
I understand that flipping the coin was giving him the choice on whether he lives or dies.
But do you know why that conversation goes the direction it does?
No.
So, like, the gas station attendant thinks that he's just making small talk, right? It says the thing about, like, weather in Dallas or something like that.
Yeah.
The whole idea is that Javier Bardem's character is a ghost. So he gets immediately flustered at the idea or uneasy at the idea that this guy has noticed where he's coming from. And he doesn't want anybody to be able to track him down or prove that he exists or is real. So if somebody had come to that gas station asking about a stolen car, Dallas, all of these things, there's a chance that gas station attendant, if he leaves him alive, can expose him like his path or where he's going, or the fact that he even really exists, because the whole premise throughout the movie is like you can't track him, you can't find him, and that's that whole scene is him, basically deciding whether or not he needs to kill this guy to protect his cover.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of clear because the conversation was pretty just docile and normal up until like, oh yeah, like, you know, he mentions Dallas and he's like, why would you say that? And like it immediately you hear the tone like change.
But I think you're right. But I think these are the things we're talking about where this is a movie I think on a second or a third watch, you appreciate some of these scenes a little bit differently. Because if you don't know, like if you haven't caught on to those details of him wanting to be a ghost, on the surface, he's a killer. It just seems like he's a guy who it's so early in the movie too, to where you haven't had a ton of context to this yet either, to where he could just be a guy who kills for fun and like some not fun, but like anything sets him off. And that's the reason he gets triggered by that. But it's not that. He's completely in control in that moment. He's thinking about like all of the different angles basically to it.
And just leaves it to a coin toss.
But it's not even really about the coin toss. And that's where the second scene to me, from a psychology standpoint, that's the most interesting. And I think it's the most interesting in the whole movie is Carla, is the girlfriend, when he sits down with her and does the same exact conversation basically, right? But she calls him. She challenges him guys like that don't like, they don't like to be challenged on that level, right? Like he wants to be the one in control. So like those are the scenes that I really appreciated in this movie. And like, it's really, I think it's all the Bardem scenes. Like I thought Brolin was great. I thought Tommy Lee was great. I thought she was great. She, outside of the main three, I mean, like she's the most focused on character outside of them, but like she was really good, I thought, in it. Well, I guess there's one other person you could consider in there, but Bardem's like him sitting down in those conversations, whether it's the gas station or the Woody Harrelson one or the wife one, like those conversations, you're just like enthralled. And then you talk about no music, no other things going on, and you're just drawn into like the rawness of these two people having this conversation. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. I mean, it's kind of like that whole like psych thriller vibe, I guess you get from it. Dante
won't be able to answer this. I don't know if you can, Dave. What happened to Tommy Lee Jones? And I'm not talking about in the movie, but I'm just talking about like his career.
The guy's really old.
Yeah, but like, so Can we pull up his IMDb? Like, how much did he do after 2007? Like, he's really old now, but like this movie was too that like I feel like after about 2010, I feel like after 2010 you saw him very little. You know, he didn't even do Men in Black 3. Or he did maybe a quick scene in it, but that was Brolin in 3.
It was both of them, but I mean,
he's got a bunch
been
of
in
stuff
a lot of
done
movies.
recently, yeah.
But it's all DVD, straight to DVD. I think this is one. Was his big like?
I mean, he was in Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
2011 for that.
12.
Okay.
The Homesman.
I don't know what that is.
I remember seeing the poster for this, but he was in Jason Bourne.
I remember him in that. Yeah.
2016. He's been in a bunch of stuff since then, but none of this I've heard of.
I feel
Ad
like
Astra I've heard of.
yeah, that's the Brad Pitt movie. Fucking hate that movie.
Finest Kind.
I love Finest Kind, but so here's the deal with him that I think what I'm asking is like I've envisioned him. He kind of went like the Bruce Willis route to me, where he was like in a million movies in the movie theater,
and then went, like
one
the B-movie route.
Yeah, all of a sudden he just wasn't in like major, huge movies anymore, but he was still acting. Like I knew he was still like popping up. I forgot the roles, but like Ad Astra was a movie theater movie, but it's not a good. Like I didn't like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Captain America: First Avenger, 2011.
2011 was about where I feel like I said 2010 was where I thought it cut off, but like, you know, a couple of years after that, The Finest Kind, like that's a Paramount Plus movie. Like that's not a, like, it is good, but it's not, he's in like an Academy Award winner. He's like a top notch, fantastic actor. And you talk about he's old, but like Morgan Freeman's old, but I've seen Morgan Freeman in 9 million movies in the movie theater.
And also, like you say, he's old, but like I feel like he's never done like crazy action movies.
Yeah,
to the point
Mission
where his
Impossible.
age would be
He is an Academy Award winner.
I said he is. Yeah.
You said he wasn't.
Oh, I thought
no, he said he is.
Yeah, that was my point was that he is a very acclaimed actor, and that's why I'm surprised that he wouldn't be getting like major movies, not being in B-rated movies was kind of like my thing, you know. And I was just watching this, and I was like, dude, Tommy Lee Jones is just a great actor. Like I like early 2000s, late 90s, like he was in a lot of great movies that I saw. So it was just watching it, and I'm like, yeah, man, his career just seems like from this point on, there's not a lot of things that stuck out in my mind as like I didn't see Lincoln, Daniel Day, where we talked about this, you know. So I guess that's one. I don't know how big of a role he has in that. Ad Astra, I feel like he probably was somebody in like the control room in that movie. I don't know, you know. But it was just a question that popped in as I found myself watching it. I had a couple more things. I don't know if you guys have notes or anything on here, but the scene, we haven't talked a ton about Josh Brolin's character so far.
That was Llewellyn, right?
Yeah. Weird name for him.
Yeah.
Right. Kept throwing me off every time I said his name.
At some point I switched to like subtitles on, and I noticed the way it was spelled, but for most of it I thought it was like Lou Ellen, and I was like, man, it's got a girl's name.
So what is it then?
It's like Llewelyn. It's like all one word.
Oh, okay.
I had subtitles on from the beginning, so I saw it like right off the rip.
I had no idea. That's crazy. Yeah, he was like his character was very good. Like I liked that.
By the way, subtitles guy.
Yes, sir.
All about.
I like talking about like Bardem is kind of like the Michael Myers, like an apex predator, a shark, like going after its kill. Right, smells blood in the water and just keeps going after it and after it. But I liked the opposite end of that with Brolin, to where like he's the final girl. He was, but he was up to task. Like I feel like pretty consistently throughout the movie.
Like
he
good
was
at staying a step ahead.
He wasn't an idiot, you know. Like I like that both characters are able to be intelligent and like have resourcefulness. And it felt like he wasn't like a genius, but he was a resourceful dude who kept like finding ways to keep himself.
One thing that kind of threw me off though is when he died.
I was getting So this is where this would be a gripe. Two things in that death sequence.
Yeah.
Did you guys think that the editing was really weird in that part of the movie too? Because I took a note on the editing there was a couple editing choices that I thought were really hard to follow why they were doing it.
By this point I was driving, so
I think it was just like it obviously kind of like just happened and kind of stole away from you the payoff that you thought you were going to get of this final battle
Yes.
between Llewellyn and Sugar.
Sugar.
So like I think that that's where I'm coming from on it, is that like, first of all, I kept expecting Brolin to not be dead. First thing I thought from it was he's not dead because you killed him basically off camera. Secondly, he said that
But they showed him face down in the pool.
They didn't show his face. They just showed a body face down in the pool.
Oh, I mean, they showed him.
They just showed I didn't think I saw his.
I don't think they
actual
really
face.
went out on his face, but like it was him face down in the pool, and it was like what he was wearing. I thought
So
that
I
was
saw
pretty
like
clear.
the face down, and I guess here's why I was confused by it, because he does the whole, when he gets the phone call from Sugar, right? He gets a phone call and he basically tells him like, "I'm gonna be a step ahead of you now." So I was like, "Oh, like
He's faking his
this
death.
is him being smart. Like he's gonna like throw him off the scent, and then when he gets hit by the car later."
You thought that was him.
It feels like that would have been the payoff to that, to a point. Was, and
Yeah,
the thing
because that was the other thing too. Is I was wondering, I was like, who's driving the car? Was that just some stupid coincidence?
and so
Stupid
the part that
coincidence.
the editing that bothered me is, and I noticed I must not have noticed it earlier in the movie, but they did this after this to me as well, and I was like, I don't think I love this. So he's talking to the girl at the pool, and she's like, "Do you want to have some beers?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You know what beers lead to?" And she's like, "Yeah, more beers." And then it just fades to black. Like they do a fade cut. Dante,
Yeah.
And then it just opens up on a new scene. Oh, or it opens up on the scene. It opens up on the police chase scene. Like where
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is seeing them pull out of not the police chase, but he sees them.
He sees
pull out
he
of the
hears the
motel.
gunfire and sees them
Yeah.
speeding out. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes from like dark cut. And I just, in a movie, like that's like a Premiere Pro, like we would edit with like a fade to black cut. Like, I don't know. And they used it a few different times. And I thought
I feel like that's another trope of westerns. I'm telling you, this is a western.
like, but you do the fade to black and then you kill off like your major antagonist in this, right? Like that felt like a really weird decision to me to kill him off. See, and you killed, arguably,
To
then you
kill him
kill
off screen is crazy.
You kill him
yeah.
off screen, and then you kill the wife off screen as well. And
Yeah.
it like the wife scene is impactful, but it's like kind of almost weird to a point to throw it in there after the mom's been killed. Like it makes sense because he's killing off the trail that would lead back to him. I get
He has a code. He gave a promise. This is what's going to happen if this doesn't happen.
Yeah, and it makes him seem even more like a sociopathic, like serial killer, that like he has no other motive other than that he made a promise that he would kill her.
Also, the other thing I missed, and maybe my attention was drawn away from it at points, but whatever happened with the money?
I mean, I guess it's just assumed that the Mexican group that killed Llewellyn took the money. Or no,
They wouldn't have had it yet.
No,
Bardem would have been the one who knew where it is.
I think Bardem or Sugar would have gotten it because
Because he had blown off the lock.
one of the last scenes was Tommy Lee Jones's character, saw the grate. The vent was pulled off and there was a coin sitting on the ground. So he had opened the grate with the coin, and that's probably where Llewellyn put the money.
I see. Okay.
You think he went and got the money back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Are
he
you
would
talking
have.
about the scene when he goes back to the motel and sees like the lock was blown off?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was standing on the other side of the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I the money I hadn't even really thought about, honestly, as much as like just being like thrown off from. Yeah, it just seems like you're building like the whole premise.
It's
is
just
you were
there was a
building
lot of
towards-
different things presented in this that I feel like I lost track of.
Yeah, I liked so we haven't talked about the weapon at all. Like,
Oh,
it's
the air gun?
one of the coolest like movie weapons possible, right?
I'll get you that, yeah.
Like the sheer power of that thing, like the way it was fucking people up when he's shooting it is crazy. Like even the scene where Brolin's trying to get away in the truck, and he's just shooting like the constant shots into the pickup truck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was the
That
shot.
was the actual gun, though. He wasn't using the air
yeah,
gun.
okay, not the airsoft, but even that one was like more like that with the silenced, was it like
Silent shotgun,
yeah, shotgun, like even that was like
I mean,
kind of crazy. Like
it
I
was
just assume
dope.
he's doing
It's-
something to gas up his weapons, dude.
it doesn't work like that. It's not like a real thing, but it was cool.
Well, that's where I'm like there's something he's doing to this gun to be like, because it's shooting slugs. I have to imagine it's not shooting like buckshot, you know, like because they're coming in like actual full-fledged bullets. But like that thing's just blowing people's body parts off, and like everybody's a bloody mess when they get hit with it.
The whole gunfight from like the hotel out into the street with the cars and everything was really, really cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, like this is what I was saying. Like it wasn't like a high octane action movie, but there was these scenes of like the gunfighting that were really, really, they're super simplistic to a point, but like they're really, really well done with the way they were choreographed and the way that the violence is depicted.
I think it's honestly just the way the movie is able to keep a very even tone throughout the movie. Like at no point does it really feel like it fluctuates. Yeah, it's just kind of very steady.
And it's because the characters never. Like even at their most high anxiety moments, the characters never get like up here. They're always kind of like
almost like melatonin.
Yeah, like throughout the whole movie. And I of course, like Bardem's going to be the one eating the. You'd think melatonin's not the right description.
No, it's the wrong word.
Melatonin.
No, what was I trying to say?
It's a very white movie. Melanin.
No. Oh God. I lost a word.
Melancholy?
No.
Mundane.
What's the word you use for when somebody speaks at one singular tone, doesn't change pitch?
Monotone.
Monotone, thank you. Fuck.
One tone.
Un tone.
Yes. Don't know why I went melatonin, but thank you.
Yeah, I came away from this movie like this is the perfect thing. Like, funny enough, like we kind of just were like, oh, let's just do No Country for Old Men. There's No Country for Old Men, and we just kind of threw it out there. And like, I kind of started with this, right? Like, I don't think any of us were like chomping at the bit to watch it. By the end of it, though,
it took me a minute to get into it. Yeah. But by the end, I was like, oh, that was pretty good.
There was definitely time, like I said, there would be times where I might get pulled away with my like concentration, but then I would also find myself like locked back into what's going on for large portions of the movie. So yeah, I'm happy I watched it. I also am glad that I like watched it now, I think, rather than just randomly watching it one night or something like that, you know.
I throw in like one last thing too.
Yeah.
How pointless was Woody Harrelson's
I was so caught off guard by him being in the movie. Funny enough, when he popped up and I was like, damn, like there's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, like they got like some dudes. Woody Harrelson's also that dude who will just show up in some shit for no reason, you know. To me, his character seems pretty pointless though. Like,
it really served nothing other than like the one scene you get of Bardem like going back to the crime scene and, you know, taking him up to the room and then killing him. I was just like, okay, this dude is top dog. Like that's kind of the only thing that
he was the one character, now that you say it, because I think they did a really good job of making all the characters pretty intelligent in their own right. And Woody Harrelson's character, when you really look back on it, is the only character who comes off kind of dumb.
Because he was very cocky, but
isn't he the one who's supposed to know the most about Sugar?
Yeah.
And he's the one tracking him, but he's the one who gets snuck up on like that easily.
Well, he wasn't tracking Sugar. He was tracking the money.
But he was very aware of Sugar. Like the whole premise was like
Actually, you know what? I don't know, because he was tracking the money, but he found the money and didn't get it.
Because I think it was like the whole thing was that he was telling Brolin about, like, he knew the whole profile on this guy who's supposed to be a ghost. So I took that as like,
well, because they were both hired by the same guy.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. I guess that would make sense.
But I don't know why he wouldn't just take the money when he found the money.
Yeah. Why? I guess this is where
unless he did want to kill Sugar, like then, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Because he was even like, it's crazy too, because like he also seemed like he was supposed to be the expert on him, but like when he was like, wait, you've seen him and lived? It's like, you haven't? And you know all this shit about him?
You really only get that one fight with Brolin and Sugar, and aside from that, it's mostly just like Sugar going through and just like mowing people down, but it's not really him. Yeah. There's not like altercations, because you have this character with Woody Harrelson who gets put out with just a conversation, no actual fight. Brolin gets killed off camera with no fight or anything like that. Does that take away from the movie at all?
No. It's a 2-hour movie. I don't think I needed it to be longer. I think it was fine. I don't think this is a movie that was really centered on the action. I think the action was just there to help along the story.
I don't think it was centered on action, but I think the story was centered on these two characters that are on like a collision course with each other, in that we didn't get the payoff. So to me, I do think I really liked this movie, but if I was going to give it one negative caveat, is that the thing that you had me most interested in seeing was these two characters that kept telling each other, like this guy who's hunting somebody and main objective is to get him, was the whole premise that you built an hour and a half of the movie on. And the other side of it is the cat and mouse thing, where the mouse is like trying to flip it back on him and be like, no, I'm going to get you. And then we didn't get the payoff. Like the payoff wasn't even shown to us. Like if you were going to your point, if it's a 2-hour movie and you didn't need to show more, that would tell me that this part got cut. Why'd they cut that?
Yeah.
Of all the stuff to cut, why'd we cut that? And this is where I maybe a second watch gives me more. Maybe like I keep reading about it, and like I couldn't find anything from the Coen brothers. Like when I should have specifically looked up like them talking about it rather than just doing general like No Country for Old Men like stuff. Because I'd like to know if they've talked about that at all, like the decision to not show. Because I'm sure like with directors like that, there's probably a logic behind why they thought it was more impactful to not show him get killed and just show him
have
dead.
To like go back and like
maybe
look
it's
up
that ghost
some
thing. Like he just came in. So one other question, like, and I was trying to get us out of here. He gets killed at the hotel. He gets killed at that hotel because the mother-in-law gives away the location. Did those guys go and tell Bardem about that?
No.
So was it those guys who killed him and Bardem didn't kill him?
Bardem didn't kill him.
Okay. So that makes him look even more like a punk, though, right? Like, doesn't that diminish it even more? Where he wasn't even the character to kill. Like Brolin was supposed to be smart. Again, like I said, the Woody Harrelson looks dumb, but now that I think of it, like in a way, it takes away from Brolin looking smart through a lot of the movie, where he gets taken out by something that, and I guess it's because he's so hyper focused on Sugar that he's not thinking about the mother-in-law like ruining the whole thing for him. But that's also not explicitly like given as the reason why it worked out the way it did.
Well, so that's one of the things where like Sugar was like pissed off when he goes and kills the guy in the office, and he's like, he hired like the Mexicans as well. And like that's who like this other group is, where like you kind of really didn't know this whole time who they were or where like what their involvement was, but it's obvious that this guy in this office hired multiple group, or he gave the Mexicans the transponder as well to track the money. So like that's kind of where they were in this. So obviously they had tracked the wife, mother-in-law, and obviously like tricked her into telling him where they were going in El Paso, and then they called ahead.
She was a sucker. Problem with mother-in-laws, right? Yeah, I if you haven't watched it, you've gone as long as we did. I recommend it. I thought it was a fun watch.
No, I definitely recommend it. I think I gave it a cool 4.5
out of 5.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know if I came in quite as high, but
I think 4 out of 5 is probably fair though, for the performances and like.
Right now on Letterboxd is sitting at a 4.3.
Yeah, I think 4 is probably where I would on it. Dante?
I probably would have given it a 3.5 to be honest.
Okay. Dave, you want to introduce what we're going to be doing on next week's taste test?
Yeah, so we have discussed, and we're going to watch the prequel. I think it's a prequel.
Feels like it's a prequel.
There's No Country for Old Men.
With no will old blood or something. I don't know.
Will be blood.
There will not be blood.
No, I'm pretty sure there will be.
What kind of weapon does he use in this movie?
Words.
Oh, it's a.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
It's the prequel to Law Abiding Citizen.
So
it's Freedom Riders.
We will be watching There Will Be Blood. Leonard here will be getting his first taste
of blood
of Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, man. Like, I'm trying to find what the hype's about. People say he's the best actor of my generation. I need to find out.
He doesn't.
Streaming services on
Paramount.
It is also on Paramount.
I believe so.
We'll double check that.
That would make sense.
The man. I mean, so he does not do a whole lot of movies. It's usually been like one every 5 when he was. Now, he hasn't done a movie, I don't think, since 2017. And I don't think he has any
plans to do
anymore
So he might be
as
done.
of right now. But like the movies that he does do, man, he picks his roles, he studies his roles, and he crushes them. The man has won 3 Oscars for leading actor. And like honestly, from like the few movies, and I haven't seen his whole filmography, like not even close. But the few movies that I've seen, like his impact is so large that he is one of the actors I would put on my Mount Rushmore.
I might challenge you on your Mount Rushmore at some point. That'll be a talking point someday. Put it in the tickler file.
There's something I don't understand here.
So There Will Be Blood. Check it out on Paramount Plus. Come back next week. We will be talking about that in the taste test. Let us know what you guys thought of No Country for Old Men, though. Is he the best depiction of a serial killer, sociopath? Is there a better one, in your opinion? Let us know out there, please. How much is too much to pay on a movie? Have you gone sledding before? Should your friends who have lowered vehicles have to raise them in the winter? Should hydraulics be more readily available in vehicles? These are all questions. I need answers. Make sure to drop a comment down below. If you haven't yet, make sure to like the video. Tell a friend, ask a friend, share the podcast. We appreciate you. Until next week, we bid you fale. Adieu.
Peace. Bang, bang. A skeet.
For those with good taste.
Oh, you couldn't really give it the gusto this time,
It's just like it hurts on the side.
Man, injured himself coughing.
That was a sneeze.
Sorry.